name is Heather Ingargiola, and I have spent my entire professional career at Schnucks. I started from the bottom as a bagger, and when I left, I managed one of the busiest bakeries in the company. I had many passions when it came to my job. One of the things I love about my job was the ability to lead people and a team, and the other passion was technology. It always excited me when we got a new software product that I could test. Using these passions, I decided that I needed a new career change to put my energy into. There are many different coding boot camps out there, but after talking to Savvy and hearing about their passions, I knew Savvy was the right choice for me. With Savvy Coders Bootcamp, I have learned how to be a full stack developer. Savvy has also taught me the knowledge that will help me create the tools that will benefit the sales industry. Out of all the different tools we have used at Schnucks, my favorite is the production planning program. For my capstone project, I have created a production planning website that contains all the elements that are missing from the planning tools I use in the bakery. This website will help businesses see the movement and pitch of their different products and production needs on a weekly basis. An order guide will show the user exactly how much they should order to achieve current sales. This website can also show them if they are pitching too much product. Then on the flip side, it can also show missed opportunities. I created this website with HTML, JavaScript, and CSS, and I also Agile certified. Okay, so here is my website. I am serving it up today on Netlify. And the title of my website is Seer, which by definition is someone who can see into the future. So Seer, planning for future sales. So let's go ahead and go to my home screen. So right here, the picture I have here, when I created this website, I had in mind more of a mom and pop bakery because any big corporation can spend tons of money to get a production planning tool. What about those small businesses, the businesses that don't usually spend money on technology? But if they had a tool like this at their fingertips, it could have changed their business a lot. So this picture right here, this was the first thing that I really figured out how to do different in CSS. And with this picture, I did an opacity of 0.60. And then down here at the bottom, I have a contact us. So if there was someone looking at this app and they were like, you know, this can really help with my pie production at my diner, they would come here and they type their name. So let's say Kathy. And their email. And then their phone number. And they'd write their message. And then down here, they would hit submit. And this uses, I used FormSpring. Really simple. And this comes directly to my email. And then I would be able to contact Kathy and we could talk about using this website for her pies. So that's my home screen. My next page is my movement page. So for the rest of this presentation, let's go ahead and use French bread as our example. So this right here, the purpose of this page is to show people how much French bread you sold every single day of the week. The reason why this is beneficial is, first off, you can see, of course, what you're selling. And then you can also see the days that you're selling a whole bunch more bread, because that tells you as a manager that you're going to need to put more people on that day to be able to make all the bread for the customers. So this right here, this page is connected to the back end. I created an API that is stored into MongoDB, and then I am serving up my backend on Heroku. So, and I do have 2 different breads. I was able to get 2 different breads in here. So we're going to click French bread, and it comes up with my data. And if you would hit Italian bread, the data would change. So French bread, if we're looking at our data, we can see that we had pretty good sales. And then Thursday, we really didn't sell a lot. We'll have to see why on that. And Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we did some very good sales. So we're going to keep this information in the back of our head, and we're going to go on to the next page, which is the pitch page. Now, the pitch page will work just like the movement page, but I have not finished hooking it up to the back end. But that will definitely be the next thing I do as I continue to work on my web application. So I do have the drop-down box in, but for today's presentation, I went ahead and put dummy numbers into it to kind of give you an example of how it will work. So the pitch is showing you how much of each of the French bread loaves you throw away each day. This can be beneficial because first off, you can see on days that you have high amounts of pitch, because in the end, that's just money going into the trash can that you're losing. But like I said earlier, it also can show you missed opportunities. What I mean by that is, let's take a look at Wednesday and Thursday. There's 0 pitch, which means you ran out of that bread, which means you could have sold a lot more. Remember Thursday I said, wow, we really didn't sell a lot Thursday. But if we would have made more on Thursday, we could have sold a lot more bread. It also shows us that on Friday, we pitched a lot. Even though we sold 18, we still pitched 12. So we probably could cut down on production a little bit. And Saturday and Sunday, we did only pitch 4 and 3, but those are usually the busiest days of a bakery that if you had a little higher pitch, like you were right at the end, like who grabs the last donut out of the donut case? You do want to have a little bit of pitch on those days because you can get higher sales because of that. So keep these numbers in mind also, and we'll go on and we are going to write our production sheet. So this is where a user would use the information that has easily come to them from the movement page and come to them from the pitch page. And now they can easily write their next week's production of French bread. So I'm just going to go ahead and type some numbers in here. See, Wednesday I went up because we had 0 pitch on that one. And Thursday, since we only sold 4, we pitched out 0. We're going to go ahead and double that. Now Friday, I'm going to go ahead and take to 22. And then Saturday, we'll go ahead, and Sunday, we're going to go crazy with 40. Okay, so I have my production numbers in. Now I'm going to go to the bottom and I'm going to click print this page. The reason why I want to print this page is because I need to communicate with my staff, my bakers, on what do I want them to make so we can have enough bread for our customers. So it's a good communication tool. Then my last and final page is my order page. That one is also a project that I will continue to work on, but I'll go ahead and tell you what my thought process was. So for Schnucks, when we had a case of French bread, we would get it in. It had about 16 loaves in each case, and then we would bake those loaves. So from looking at the production sheets that we just created, we need 132 loaves for the entire week to achieve those sales. So this would just take all that math away and tell you that, hey, you're going to need 9 cases of French bread. So it makes the process a lot faster. So this is my website, Sear. I'm also going to show you a few other things. So right here, this is one of my original wireframe drawings that I did. As you can see, it does look a little bit different, but the big thing that's different is it shows 4 weeks of data, and that would be a future product. future project, because when you're looking at 4 weeks of data, you can see the trends for each day, and it'll give you a chance to write better production sheets. And now I'm going to show you a little bit of my code. So with this project, I had mentioned earlier that all my data that when I created my API is stored through MongoDB. And I am serving up my back end on Heroku, and my front end is served through Netlify. I also used Insomnia to test my APIs, and I used a Trello board to stay organized on this project. I wrote all my code in VS Code, which is Visual Studio Code. I did all my code on a development branch. So whenever I made enough changes and I wanted to serve up my page on Netlify, I would have to push all my information up to GitHub and then merge my development in master branch, because my master branch is what would serve to Netlify and Heroku. So I did that a lot and became very good. My web page did not actually work on the back end until about 5 hours before this presentation. So right here, we'll go ahead and start at the page I'm at. So this is my index.js and it's my root. So this is where almost all of my JavaScript is located that makes my website functional. So all the different commands I have in here is how I got those numbers to show up on the movement page in the correct spot on the website. Up here at the top, this is my this is my movement views page. So this has a lot of my HTML in here. And you can see I do have like the Monday, and then I have that JavaScript in there to bring that number actually underneath Monday. And then I'm going to show you this production. So this is the production sheet. This is how I got it, that you got the blank numbers that you were then able to type your numbers for the production sheet. When I wanted to go in and add the code that said print this page, I figured this was going to be a super complicated process. And when I Googled it, I was like, wow, this is easy. It's this code right here. That's this little tiny line is how you're able to print your page. And then the last bit of code, my server folder. So this is the folder that connects everything to that back end. So you've got your models, which, as you can tell, I just have movement pages right now, but my next project will be adding pitch.js pages. So this right here is how I get that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then the data I actually used, it's in Insomnia. So those are all the different days. And then under my routers, this is where I have my get and my post. And this is how you retrieve the information and then send off the information. Those are the different commands. I also have a delete, so I can go in and delete information using this command. And there's a few other commands in here that are not doing anything, but I was a little afraid to delete them. So I have learned a lot because of this boot camp. 3 months ago, I didn't even know what a terminal was, and I especially didn't know anything about coding. And now I feel fairly confident in HTML, CSS, and a better understanding of JavaScript. When it comes to solving a problem, I know I'll come up with the answer. And I know at this point, I can be thrown into any environment and I will figure out how to excel. And with the help of Savvy and everything I've learned, I have accepted a position with Accenture Federal Services in the PMO. Any questions?